Hello you beautiful people out there, what is going on? This is your friend Britik coming at you fast with some Paragon gameplay. And today, I want to talk about not so much gameplay tips or deck tips, build tips, whatever, like more in-game stuff, you know what I'm talking about. But rather, life tips, so to speak, that can help you also in-game. Look at all that health regen, the lifesteal on Kwang. Kwang is crazy, like they nerfed Kwang, but he's really just not. He's just still really fucking strong, man. You can build him growth, death. Oh, maybe I'll update my Kwang build because this is insane. But what I want to talk about more specifically is the kind of mindset that one should have just in life in general that will make them better people, better players, and you know, it all carries over. People think that video games are separate from reality when in fact they're definitely not. You know, they're definitely not. There's a lot of overlap between your personality when you're not playing video games and when you are. And we understand that over the internet we are able to be a bit more toxic, we're able to mess around a bit more because, hey, you know, we're not really in our physical environment, we're behind a computer screen, we're doing a whole lot of stuff different than what we'd normally be doing. But what I want to share with you guys is a little story. So I'm going to start this off with this little story, and then I'm going to move into what it means and kind of what I got from it. So, if you notice, my tone is a bit somber. It's not really somber. Like, I guess you could say I was a bit depressed today. I wouldn't say I was depressed, maybe just reflective. But basically what happened was my ex-girlfriend, she left some of her stuff in my apartment, and I was driving the rest of it over today. And it was just like this one little trinket. It was like this little ceramic cup thing. But I remember it meaning a lot to her, so I was like, screw it. I'm not going to even risk mailing it because I don't want it to show up shattered. So I'm just going to go ahead and drive an hour one way to drop it off and then drive an hour back. Because it's, you know, it's whatever. Like, it was important that I gave it back to her. So I show up, you know, to her house, and I ring the doorbell. And her dad opens the door. Her dad's this big, you know, tall, 6'3", 6'4" guy, bald, you know, menacing looking. And he's like, "Oh, geez, what are you doing here?" And I was like, "Okay, that's great. That's a great way to start." But I was just like, "Hey, you know, she left this here. I'm here to give it back. Could you please give this to her?" He's like, "Okay, sure, no problem." And while we were doing this exchange, so she has a little sister, and this little sister of hers, she's like 7 or 8 years old. She really likes me. She really likes me. And she like runs out the door and she gives me this big hug and she's like, "Please, Bright, don't go. I don't want you to go." And, you know, I was obviously holding myself back from crying because she was just so adorable. And I was like, I really have to go though. Like, it's just awkward at this point, the fact that I'm still here. Because you guys gotta understand, like, for those of you who don't know, like, this is about like 2.5 weeks now after we broke up, pretty much. So it's like, I really just shouldn't even be here, but I'm just too nice of a person to let this slide. So, honestly, here. And she's just like, "No, please don't go, please don't go. I'm gonna miss you so much." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but don't be upset. You know, everything will work out all right." And I left, and that's it. And, you know, it seems really simple, but what really stuck with me was just how much she cared, like how much that little sister of hers actually cared about me, specifically about me leaving, about me not being there anymore. I was like, I didn't see my ex-girlfriend that often. It was probably just about, at best, once a week. And occasionally I would run into her little sister. She would sometimes catch us eating, you know, in the kitchen or whatever. And what I do remember though is that her sister, my ex-girlfriend, was always mean to this little girl. You know, like in a sibling kind of way, but she was always, I'd say, meaner than I would be if I had a sibling like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, everybody has their own relationships, and I, as an outsider, never butt in because it was no place for me. You know, that's their relationship, not mine. But I always try to be polite because, you know, it's not my little sister. But I kind of treated her like a little bit like a little sister, you know? I was always nice to her. I gave her little trinkets from time to time. And, you know, I always smiled. Always tried to play with her when I had time. Basically, I kind of felt bad for her almost at some times, and I just wanted to be there kind of for her, almost like a big brother. So I guess that's just kind of the impression that I left. I was just being positive. I was just trying to be as positive as I can be, and sometimes, you know, even my ex-girlfriend would just comment on how overly extra positive I was. And I know, like, sometimes I could be toxic, and everybody could be toxic in Paragon and online and all of that, and I totally get that. Sometimes I just do it for the jokes, just because it's fun, just messing around. And sometimes I do it because that's just me. Like, I can't be positive 100% of the time. I gotta be, you know, I gotta let it out from once in a while. Everybody understands this. It's like, if I was positive 100% of the time, I'd be fake as fuck. There's just no way. There's just no way. But having that mindset of positivity, like, just always, like, thinking about others, trying to do the right thing. Some people say it will hinder you, people will take advantage of you. I really don't believe so. I think that tanking towers is like a good way of taking advantage of this game. I think that being positive, being nice, leading by example, by a positive attitude, less talk, more walk, so to speak, it can really shape the people around you too into being better people. And, you know, depending on whether or not it sticks, depends on the people who receive that. But what it could do for you if you start having a mindset, like a leadership sort of mentality where, okay, people see what I'm doing and people are going to react in a certain way, so I better lead by example type deal. You start thinking like that, and you start, you know, playing the game or doing whatever you want to do in life, thinking with that kind of mindset. There's a lot that you'll be able to accomplish. There's a lot that will stop phasing you. There's a lot that will stop hindering you from accomplishing your goals. And so, what I'm trying to say with this little story is, I didn't realize how much of an impact my actions had on this little girl. On the little sister of my ex-girlfriend. Like, I didn't realize. I didn't realize. And at the same time, you know, similarly, the way I handle myself as a YouTuber and the persona I give off, is also acts to a lot of people as a role model figure. And what I want to extend to you guys as a lesson with this video, so to speak, is that if everyone listening to this video right now, if everyone adopted this mindset of that people are watching me, and people are going to be affected by the things that I do. So I need to be positive in order to affect those around me positively. And perhaps that attitude will spread. That's a great way to start combating toxicity. But, you know, we all know that toxicity is not going to go away because it's just too big. So on the other side of the coin is the fact that if you start acting that way, it'll at least make the environment you create more enjoyable, which will make it hopefully more enjoyable for others, which in turn will make it more enjoyable for yourself. When the environment is better for yourself, you tend to do things better. In this case, you tend to play Paragon better. I know this firsthand because anytime somebody gets tremendously toxic, watch me steal this prime right now, bros. Watch me steal this prime. Anytime somebody gets too toxic, you know, it just throws me off. I can't have a good game. I just end up being in a bad mood. And not after I take a prime like that, though. I'm not in a fucking bad mood. That shit was dope, man. I was just like doing a little shake and bake, getting that shit in with the ult. Hold on, let me bring this back. Let me bring this back real quick, slow mo that. But basically, what I'm trying to say, guys, is if you be positive, people around you be positive, everything else will be fucking better. And that mindset will help you a lot in a lot of things. Like, I can be a depressed sack of shit about my girlfriend. Okay, I could do that. But I choose not to be. Instead, I decide to be a goddamn beast. Tanking shots. Ulting in. Getting the double kills. You know? I do it because moping around is not going to get shit done. Being negative is not going to get shit done. You're not going to be happy unless you set that mindset for yourself to be happy. Unless you start being productive and pursuing the things that make you happy. A lot of people are like, oh, you need money to be happy. You don't need money to be happy. Happiness doesn't come from money. Happiness doesn't spawn from a brand new car. Happiness doesn't spawn from getting a brand new PC. Yeah, it'll make you feel good. But money is the agent of which we can bring about that happiness. You know, people say, oh, money can't buy happiness. This is true, because happiness comes within you as a person. You do things in your life that make you feel as if you're worth it, that make you feel better about yourself, that self-actualize yourself. For example, I'm planning on starting to learn how to play an acoustic guitar. Not because I expect to make a profit from it, but because I expect to make myself a better person out of it. Because I expect myself to learn something from it, in turn making me a better person and more productive in this world. Yeah, I need the money to buy the guitar, but I don't need money itself to make myself feel better. I need that positive attitude. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. That's it. That's all it is right there. So, I know this conversation might have been a bit too deep. I might have just made y'all woke. But I feel like this was something really important that I just really had to get off my chest. And, you know, the experience was very recent, so I could analyze it still very clearly. And again, like this little girl made me realize how much my attitude and my actions affected her attitude towards me, at least. I don't know what she's doing in her life that's different from before she met me, but the fact that I made her feel this way about me in the first place means that I must have done something. And that's, you know, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty fucking crazy when you think about it. Like, oh man, I really just impacted this person in such a way. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Just be positive. Live with this kind of mindset. If something bad happens, don't worry. Keep chugging. Everything will be better. Believe me, it ain't easy. But you can do it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, drop a like. Please drop a like. If you did find this helpful or inspirational, or if you were down in the dumps and this helped you out a little bit, I really want to know. So always make sure I have a wonderful day. Peace.